So how were you able to go on the trip to the inauguration?
There is an organization on campus called the American Democracy Project, and they frequently try to engage students in the political process.
I reached out to our congressman, representative of this district, Larry Bouchon, in regards to obtaining tickets to the inauguration.
I was offered the chance to attend the inauguration through the American Democracy Project.
What were you expecting before you left for D.C.?
So I've been to D.C. multiple times, and typically it's very relaxed and whatnot. I expected it to be a little chaotic due to the amount of people that were going to D.C. all for this event.
I was expecting the trip to be a lot of fun, and I definitely thought it lived up to that. Just so many people, the whole atmosphere was crazy.
Yeah, so I didn't go in with any expectations whatsoever. I'd never really been near the inauguration. I'd watched it twice.
Were there any pleasant surprises that you experienced while you were in Washington, D.C.?
People from all over the country who had no idea who any of these other people were, and they're just getting along like they're friends. And I understand that their guy won, and they were celebrating. They were happy. And to see all that happiness and not a whole lot of conflict was kind of surprising, because when I think of a Trump rally or from his campaign, I kind of associate that with some sort of conflict, just because earlier on in the campaign season he had some of his supporters, some of the people who attended the rallies were very extreme and very overreactive to some of the things that happened at them. So
And going in, I expected this to be kind of a crazy trip. It kind of lived up to that. I guess walking through, we saw a few of the protesters, but none of them really got too out of hand.
It's really the crowd size, and they kind of had a lot of hatred towards Democrats. If there was a Democrat speaking or walking down and they were on screen at any time at all, you couldn't hear anything that was being said. They were all chanting.
So what shocked you while you were in Washington, D.C.?
I was shocked by the amount of reverence and veneration that these diehard Donald Trump supporters showed to the newly inaugurated president. And I could tell they were very reverent to him, because it was a rowdy bunch. It was a very rowdy bunch of people. It didn't matter who was talking during the inauguration. It didn't matter if Chuck Schumer was up there, or if Roy Blunt was up there, or didn't matter who was being introduced. They kept saying, "We want Trump, we want Trump, we want Trump," and I totally get that. It's their candidate. They love him. They came here to see him, not anyone else. I totally understand that. But when he got up there and he started speaking, my area was about as quiet as a graveyard.
The amount of unrest and disrespect between the two bipartisan divides. There were Democrats there as well as conservatives or Republicans. And just the constant bickering back and forth, the slandering, the disrespect between the people was the most shocking thing.
During the inauguration, everybody tried to get this guy kicked out. Not really sure why. They just kind of all, I guess, felt like it. It was different. And then we were also there for the Women's March. And I thought I had seen a lot of people at the inauguration, but here you had city blocks filled with people. And
The biggest shock would be just the amount of divide between the American people. For example, whenever the Senate minority leader was speaking, was giving what I thought was a fine speech, you still had a lot of Trump supporters primarily still booing him. So I found that a little bit shocking.